cannoli! Welcome to 2-Bit Gaming. Today's topic, Halo 2600. So you know that ancient video game machine with the toggle switches and the wood paneling? Of course you do. It's only the most important video game console in video game history. That's right, this old clunker. The Atari Video Computer System, known to most as the Atari 2600. This October, it's turning 33 years old. I should say 33 years young because this most classic of classic consoles has an active homebrew community releasing new games. The website AtariAge.com has just released, in limited quantities, a game so epic it has made headlines all over the internet. Halo 2600, a Halo game for the 33-year-old Atari 2600. You wouldn't believe how excited my Atari fanboy uncle was. Hey, check out this new Atari game. Whoa, don't get too excited about it. Well, anyway. Halo 2600 was created by Ed Fries, the former Microsoft Vice President of Game Publishing that signed Halo's Bungie as a first-party Xbox developer. He was once an Atari 800 programmer, and he says he built Halo 2600 as a way to learn the ins and outs of the Atari 2600, with Bungie's permission, of course. He created the whole game from scratch, within the limits of a standard 4K Atari cartridge. No small feat. It was released in a limited run of around 130 copies at this year's Classic Gaming Expo, with this limited black label. As word got out, every gaming website and some mainstream news outlets picked up the story. With Halo Reach nearing release, everyone had Halo on the brain, and the news of a retro Halo game spread like wildfire. Playing the game is simple, fun, challenging, and addictive. Instead of a points ticker beckoning you to best your own score, the game has an end. Common today, but most games once took the wash, rinse, repeat approach to gaming that arcade games solidified as the best way to milk quarters out of addicted gamers. In Halo 2600, you explore various types of terrain, collecting weapon upgrades and power-ups along your way to a boss at the end. It's challenging enough that you won't be able to beat it on your first few playthroughs, but it's not too hard that you'll get frustrated and not want to play. The difficulty slowly ramps up, so as you get better, the game challenges you more. Each time you play, you get a little further and a little better. It's the kind of game design that keeps you coming back for more because you keep telling yourself, just one more time. And before you know it, you've beaten the game. I'll leave the boss for you to discover, but once you beat him, you'll find that the game starts over with a harder difficulty. I haven't beaten the legendary difficulty yet, but I'm sure it's satisfying to conquer. When you compare it to games from 30 years ago, it stacks up amazingly well. I think if it had come out back in the day, Halo 2600 would have been considered one of the best games of the era. If it had been released instead of ET, we all might be playing Atari 3600 instead of Xbox 360. Now it's time for Kane's 2 Bits. Interested in playing Halo 2600? Well, you have two options. 1. Play it in an emulator. You'll need to find a 2600 emulator like Stella and download the bin file at AtariAge.com. If that has you stumped, head over to CodeMystics.com and play it on your browser for free. It's an actual 2600 emulator, so it's running the real 4K ROM. If you use a program like Joy2Key, you can even use a gamepad. 2. Play it on your Atari 2600. Right now, AtariAge has stopped taking orders due to demand, but you can probably snag a copy once the feeding frenzy dies down. With how popular Halo is right now, you might want to contact AtariAge about a waiting list. That's my 2 bits. If you can't stand waiting for Halo Reach, give Halo 2600 a try. It really is old school gaming at its best. If you do get a hold of a cartridge and you want a box for it, I made some authentic Atari boxes and a manual. There's a link in the description if you want to download the template. But you'll have to find your own way to print and apply it to some cardboard. As always, I'm your humble 2-bit gamer. Thanks for watching.
If you like that, check out the new Battle Kit for the NES.